Okay, quick video. Primacy. Primacy is the concept or the realization or the necessity for something to be central, primal, right? Prime. Optimus Prime, right? He is the most central character in the Transformers universe, right? Optimus Prime. Prime numbers, so you can go down this whole thing about prime. So I have a feeling and a suspicion that a number of my diversity brothers and sisters that are operating in this space have or are missing some opportunities to actually be helpful in some transformative ways. So there's still lots of folks in the D&I space, diversity and inclusion space, or diversity, equity, inclusion space, that are talking about this idea of white supremacy. And I think that it is an old card that has been played that is no longer as helpful and useful as it once was. Because I don't think that white supremacy is the problem. I think if we look at history, we look at laws, it has always been white primacy, or the necessity to have whiteness at the center of everything, by the measure that everything else is judged, is this idea of whiteness. And when we look at Western cultures, we look at European cultures, what we start to recognize is that it's not the supremacy thing, that is the side effect of this primacy in thinking. And we hear it, we see it in all sorts of different kinds of ways. There are lots of folks like, and Jordan Peterson. I listen to that guy, and he's got some really great points. I think some things are a little bit misguided, but I'm not at liberty to take him on or to challenge him. But the ideology that he oftentimes espouses points to primacy being the concern, right? So the border walls, the immigration, is not about white supremacy, but it's about maintaining the primacy of whiteness, that whiteness continues to be the center. And so here's some ways in which I think we should explore white primacy as something to be concerned about, more so than white supremacy, because what we recognize, and particularly in public education, that white kids aren't doing the best. That is actually Asian kids, and a certain group of Asian kids are doing the best in math and in reading and in scores and whatnot. But we continue to use white people as the measure of that success, right? So this idea of white primacy. Affirmative action in colleges and universities is said to be a detriment to white people, but those same affirmative actions in the form of legacy admissions is never questioned, because it protects the primacy of whiteness and white people. And so when I think it's time for us to take the next step in this evolution of actually trying to be helpful and help white folks recognize that we're not trying to replace them, but what we want is a truth about history, a truth about the success and the dominance of other people. Because it is interesting to me that these democracies that have set up this principle of 51% is right and 49 is acceptable, because the 51% is the majority. But now that the tables are turning, that 51% looks different than it has in the past, we want to throw in these protective measures to, again, protect the primacy of whiteness. And so it is my belief that it is not white supremacy that is what we should be addressing, but helping white people recognize that the rest of us can come alongside their so-called dominance in this space, and that we're not looking to replace anybody, but what we are asking, not even asking, what we're demanding and expecting is our rightful place as these demographic shifts change the nature of our democracy in the countries that we live in. This is Andre Koen. Check us out on our social media platforms. We look forward to hearing from you, seeing from you, and that's it for today. I'm out.